welcome to our channel The Patra Ghosh Family and welcome to the segment Dare to Dream. सपना देखो, सपने को पूरा भी करो. सपना देखो और सपने को हकीकत भी बनाओ. I am Jaya and I have Nilanjan with me today and we are going to discuss the myths and misconception of studying in the US. Hi Nilanjan, let's discuss about the myths and misconception of studying in the US. The first myth I would say, and it is very common that people think that studying over here is expensive. So what do you think? It's a really myth or it's a reality?
I wouldn't say it's a myth. Actually, studying in the US is actually expensive. If you compare to the education system back in India, it's pretty expensive out here. But at the same time, you have ways to support yourself in the form of teaching assistantship, graduate assistantship, or scholarships. Even if you do not get those, you can probably work as a student worker on campus 20 hours a week to support yourself. So yes, it is expensive, but at the same time, you have a support system which will enable you to pay part of your tuition fees through working on campus, as well as bring down your overall tuition fees through TAs or graduate assistantships.
Right. So can you tell me a little more about the tuition fee over here? Like how many, we are talking about masters over here, not talking about bachelors at this time. We want to just cover the master tuition fee and everything, and how many credit hours do a student need to complete the masters, and what is this credit hour?
Sure. So the tuition fees, you cannot generalize it across the US. Every university has its own tuition fees structure. For example, if you just take Texas, the tuition fees for a master's program, let's assume master's in computer science, it's about 35 to 40,000 US dollars for a 2 years master's program. However, the same master's program, if you go to the West Coast, for example, you go to the University of California system, for example, UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, University of California, Davis, University of California, Berkeley, all these universities are pretty expensive when you go to the West Coast. It's almost like twice whatever you will pay over here in Texas. It will range around, like, say, 80,000 US dollars for a master's program for your 2-year tenure, which is about 50 to 60 lakhs in Indian rupees. However, the same master's program, if you take in Texas, is about 30 odd lakhs in Indian rupees. Similar is the case if you go to the East Coast, for example, NYU, New York University, University of Pennsylvania, Boston University. Those universities are again really expensive, almost similar to what we see in the West Coast. So coming to the credit hours, a master's program, if you have to graduate, you have to complete about 36 credit hours.
Okay.
Generally, one credit hour, so one subject is equivalent to 3 credit hours. So one subject is equivalent to 3 credit hours. That means in order to complete 36 credit hours for your master's program, you need to complete 12 such subjects. And this is the system how the US government has decided of measuring the amount of work needed for a particular coursework, and that is defined as a credit hour.
Okay, that's good to know. Like, that's how the tuition fees for the master's program, and it really depends on what coursework we are also taking, like computer science and other coursework, right? Can you tell us more about the scholarship available if someone is applying from India or any other country, and how does it work? And what is this GA or TA? And everyone can land a GA, TA, or how does it work? Or like,
Sure, absolutely. Not everyone gets a GA or a TA, the graduate assistantship or a teaching assistantship. So every university, almost all the universities, gets grants from the government for research work. So professors perform research and they get grants from the government. And those professors need, they teach various subjects within the university to the students. And for correcting the papers, conducting the coursework, conducting the lab work, they need assistant, and those are called teaching assistants. So similarly, if it is more oriented towards a research work, it's called a graduate assistantship.
Okay.
So what the advantages of getting a TA or a GA is your tuition fees. Let's assume your tuition fees is $1,000. It can probably waive up to 50%, which means
वाओ दोस्तों, तो आप देख रहे हो कि ये GA और TA अगर मिल जाता है then you that tuition fee can reduce up to like 50%, right?
Absolutely. तो $500 आपका वेव हो जाता है और $500 आपको पॉकेट से देना पड़ेगा.
Right.
So that's a great advantage. Not only that, also you will be working as a teaching assistantship, as a teaching assistant to the professor, and you will be paid for that. So
Wow.
I mean exactly.
बहुत अच्छा है,
हाँ,
right?
so
Like आप पढ़ाई भी कर रहे हो and आप टीचिंग असिस्टेंटशिप भी कर रहे हो and उसके हिसाब से आप कुछ कमा भी रहे हो जिससे आप ट्यूशन फी भी कवर कर सकते हो and different sectors like fooding, lodging और everyday expenses वो भी आप निकाल सकते हो.
एकदम.
It's a very
So-
good thing if you can land up with GA or TA.
Absolutely. So as an international student, आप eligible होते हो 20 घंटा काम करने के लिए.
Okay.
So in a week you can work 20 hours. So in a month you can work about 80 hours.
And university का approval इसमें जरूरी होता है, right? You cannot work without the approval.
You need the approval,
हाँ.
but you cannot work off campus. It has to be
Has
on
to be
on campus.
campus.
तो आप पकड़ लो, अगर $10 आपको दे जाते हैं कि per hour आपका तनख्वाह होते हैं, तो it will be about $800. $800 is not great when you compare with the industry, but it is good enough for you as a student to sustain.
Right.
So you can pay your rent, you can pay your internet bill, you can pay for your food, and part of the money you can save and probably pay towards your tuition fees again.
Wow, nice. So ये तो हो गया GA and TA. तो आप ये बताओ कि आप पार्ट टाइम जॉब के बारे में कुछ बोल रहे थे, तो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ जॉब्स आर अवेलेबल ऑन कैंपस जो यूनिवर्सिटी अप्रूव भी होता है एंड वो कितने डॉलर आप कमा सकते हो उससे, एंड इफ यू कैन आल्सो टेल अस द इंटर्नशिप अपॉर्चुनिटीज व्हाइल स्टडीइंग इन द यूनिवर्सिटी, राइट?
Sure. So सबको GATA नहीं मिलते हैं.
ओके.
So some can get from their home country. Let's assume India. They can get from their home country. That is the best case scenario.
Okay.
Many of them do not get the GA or a TA. So what they can do is they let them come here to the US universities, let them study for one semester, score good grades in their semester, and then they can probably apply for GAs and TAs.
Okay.
At the same time, if they're not landing with a GA or TA or a scholarship, there are many opportunities. बहुत opportunities होते हैं on campus jobs के लिए. एक स्टूडेंट जॉब पोर्टल ही होते हैं,
करियर पोर्टल होता है, लाइक जॉब पोर्टल होता है,
स्टूडेंट जॉब पोर्टल
स्टूडेंट जॉब पोर्टल
होते हैं जहाँ पे आप जाके अप्लाई कर सकते हो या आप वॉक इन भी कर सकते हो. आप रेज्यूमे लेके वॉक इन करो कि आई नीड अ स्टूडेंट वर्कर पोजीशन एंड यू कैन अप्लाई टू दोस पोजीशंस. अगर वो भी नहीं मिले, फॉर एग्जांपल आई यूज्ड टू वर्क एज अ in the food court as just a
food court student worker.
food court student
वैसे
worker.
लाइब्रेरी में भी हो सकता है, any other
Computer
sector,
labs.
computer labs, anywhere it can be, right? और पोर्टल में सारे डिटेल्स दिए जाते हैं कितने डॉलर पर आवर्स जनरली मिलेगा, एंड इट इज नॉर्मली 20 hours per week.
It is 20 hours. That is the max you can work as a student worker. आप 20 घंटे से ज़्यादा काम नहीं कर सकते. That's
But as a
illegal.
professional we can work here like 40 hours a week.
As a professional you can work, not
But
not as a
not
student.
as a student worker.
Correct.
Nice.
तो
Good.
और internships आप पूछ रहे थे.
Right.
So यूनिवर्सिटीज क्या करते हैं कि करियर फेयर ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं जहाँ पे कंपनीज करियर फेयर में आते हैं. Over there you can go ahead and apply for the positions which they have open as internships, and go through the overall interview process whatever the companies conduct. तो companies का सब companies का different interview process होते हैं. वो interview process से जाना पड़ेगा आपको. But you have to apply a lot. You have to be persistent and obviously go ahead and apply to as many positions as possible for the internships. Interview के लिए prepare करो. जो सीनियर्स है उसके साथ कंसल्ट करो कि कैसे इंटरव्यू होते हैं. इफ देयर आर सीनियर्स ऑलरेडी वर्किंग इन द कंपनी, दे विल बी अ वेरी गुड गाइड for the overall interview process.
So that internship opportunity or full-time opportunity in the US is little different than back in India, right? Bachelor's ke baad, generally companies come and take a huge chunk of students from that same university, right? For here, it's like it's on our own. We have to apply on our own, like as many as possible, and then appear for the interview, and then उसके हिसाब से आप कैसे perform कर रहे हो उसके हिसाब से internship मिलता है. लेकिन yes, there are many opportunities for the students to crack an internship and get some financial like benefit or aid from that job, right?
Absolutely.
तो आप हमें ये बता सकते हो what are the possibilities of having student loan for the students who are coming from India से आप student loan मिलता है कि नहीं, and over here in the US as well, and then कैसे हेल्प हो जाती है, लाइक फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर, सेकंड सेमेस्टर, थर्ड सेमेस्टर, फोर्थ सेमेस्टर, कैसे हेल्प हो जाती है स्टूडेंट लोन से?
तो स्टूडेंट लोन आप इंडिया से मतलब होम कंट्री से लेके आ सकते हो.
ओके,
You can get a student loan from your home country, but you have to put a collateral for the student loan. Now coming to the US and getting a student loan here is pretty difficult because you need to have a guarantor. आपको एक guarantor चाहिए जो कि US citizen हो, जो आपको guarantor हिसाब से you can get a student loan. So it's better कि अगर कोई है नहीं US में आपका, if there is no relatives out there in the US who will be willing to be the guarantor, it's better to take the student loan from your home country
like
bank.
the educational loans available in different banks. And
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's another opportunity. And तो आप can you enlighten us some budgeting tips for the students who are willing to come over here, how they can maintain their finance over here, and what is the expectation? Can they live the same life what they're living back in the country, home country, which is for most of us was India, like it's same lifestyle रहता है और budget के थोड़ा crunch के लिए it's different lifestyle over here.
Right. तो एक बात है कि the moment you land here, it's better to find a student worker position. Student worker position आपको अगर मिल गए तो आपका जो fooding है, आपका जो internet bills है, आपका जो rent है, those you will be able to pay through whatever you earn as a student worker. Obviously, I mean the
कितना कमा लेते हैं?
तो पकड़ लो
फूड कोर्ट का ही जॉब आप पकड़ो, क्योंकि सबको GA and TA नहीं मिलता. जस्ट वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट इट, लाइक few people who has certain skill set or certain qualification may land up with a GA or TA. Not most of us will get a GA or TA, but they have to have a job in order to cover their expenses, right? So food court worker or student worker or some where else. So what is the minimum wages they are getting per hour and कितना कमा सकते हैं monthly? Rough estimation.
Correct. So आप अगर $7.5 per hour आपको मिलते हैं, that is the least almost, or $7.25. So आप $500 के आसपास आप $500 you can earn as a student worker. It's general. I mean, as a student worker in the food court.
Right.
If you get, for example, a lab student worker, for example, a computer labs. There are many student workers for the professors. Student workers. I'm not talking about GA and TAs.
Yeah, okay.
You can earn up to $10 per hour and you can work 20 hours. So it's almost like $800. It varies from where you are working. Now, obviously coming to your question where how easy or difficult it is, it will not be similar to what life you led in India. It will be difficult because you will have your studies. आपको पढ़ाई करना होगा, उसके ऊपर आपका स्टूडेंट वर्कर जो पोजीशन है उसके 20 घंटे आपको देना पड़ेगा, and studies are really hectic out here. If you take like three is minimum for a international student. If you take 4 graduate level courses, masters level 4 courses आप ले चुके हो, it will be a lot of work. You have to attend the labs, there will be theory classes, there will be tests, and every test matters a lot. So you have to be really focused in order to achieve your goals.
Right. So can you tell us about your experience doing your masters over here? Like how was it? What difficulties you got, and how most importantly how you managed your finance over here?
Sure. So before even coming to the US, I worked back in India for 2.5 years, and those 2.5 years were my preparation period, where I saved as much money as possible for my first semester fees. The tuition fees for the first semester I gave on my own. The flight tickets I gave on my own. And the moment I landed here, I was hunting for a student worker position. I somehow got into the food court and I was able to sustain myself. So I would say the best part would be if you have a bit of job experience back from your home country, that will help you. One. Second of all, that will also help you in accumulating a bit of money so that you can pay your first semester's tuition fee. Second semester, obviously, you might have to take a loan. If you have a bit of money left, you can pay through towards the tuition fees. That's okay. But once you complete 1 year, means 2 semesters, 1 year of coursework, you will be eligible. आप eligible हो जाओगे internships के लिए.
Right.
So I was also eligible for my internship. Summer I interned with a company. Over there, the internship wages are quite good. I would say it's as per with the industry standard. And through that internship wages, whatever I accumulated in those 3 months, वो 3 महीने में मैं जो भी I was able to earn, I paid the tuition fees with that saved money. So actually, I had to take the loan for only 1 semester, which was the second semester. First semester I paid on my own. Second semester I had to take a loan. Internship hua, saved a bit of money. Third semester I paid from that. So that is how I managed the overall master's program.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Nilanjan, for sharing your story with us and giving us all the information. Dosto, thank you so much, Nilanjan.
Forward to many such episodes in future.
So wrapping up today's episode, and I hope you have enjoyed the conversation with Nilanjan as much as I did. And so we are not denying the fact that it's expensive over here to study, but at the same time it depends on the student whether they can land up a GA or a TA, even the part-time job to cover their tuition fee, even the lodging, fooding over here. So as an aspiring student, if you have any question about studying over here, please let us know in the comment section, and also do let us know if you want to know the lifestyle in the US or the job perspective, how much difficult or easy to land a job. So we will definitely try our level best to cover all those questions you might have. But until then, stay tuned, and the next episode is coming soon. But you should dare to dream.